There's a certain kind of actor who doesn't need to scream to make a scene feel loud.
Maybe what I really want is to be one of these Asian girls.
Who doesn't need to cry for you to feel the breakdown coming. An actor who you don't just watch, but rather you start questioning if what you're watching is even acting at all.
Devil's in the details, the details really add up to a character.
Sam Rockwell is unpredictable in the best way. One of those guys who always seems half a second from dancing or snapping, depending on the moment. And somehow, both would make sense. There's a jittery humanity to everything he does. Raw, almost unfiltered, like the camera caught him in the middle of a thought he hadn't finished forming yet.
I was picking up girls every night. I was out of control. I became insatiable.
You have to stay grounded and be patient, otherwise you can slowly go crazy.
And then you get to Moon. Now, Moon is a weird little film.
I'm talking to myself on a regular basis.
It's not space battles or robots turning evil. There are no aliens, no chases, no CGI overdose. It's just one man, one job, one facility, and a whole lot of silence.
I'm real lonely,
At first, it seems simple. Sam Bell, played by Rockwell, is finishing up a solo 3-year contract harvesting energy on the moon. He's got a routine. He exercises, monitors the machines, talks to his AI assistant Gertie. It's lonely, sure, but there's a rhythm to it. He believes in the mission. He believes he's almost home.
I've only got 2 weeks, but it's not fair to whoever's coming up here next.
The audience is led into this routine gently, almost sedated, as if the film itself has adapted to the crushing monotony of Sam's life. But then something happens. He crashes, he wakes up, and then he meets himself.
You tell me who that is!
Sam Bell. We need to get him to the infirmary immediately.
This isn't a gimmick. It's not a case of Rockwell showing off. It's a study in restraint. Most actors would draw a line down the middle, make one version loud, the other soft, one angry, one calm. But Rockwell gives us something messier. Both Sams are believable, both are flawed, both want to live.
You've been up here too long, man. You've lost your marbles.
There's a tension in how these versions interact that feels like two sides of the same suppressed trauma being forced to acknowledge each other.
What do you think, Tess is back home waiting for you on the sofa in lingerie?
One Sam is older, tired, decaying.
I'm the original Sam! I'm Sam Bell! Me!
The other, more brash and physical, lashes out like an immune system fighting an invader. But it's not hostility that wins out, it's fear and confusion.
It might help to talk about it.
What do you understand what's happening?
I want to look underneath that model.
You're not touching this model.
And the creeping sense that the life they thought they'd lived may have never truly started.
I've sent her over 100 video messages. Did they ever reach her?
Sam, I can only account for what occurs on the base.
What happens next isn't your typical sci-fi twist. There's no big reveal in the sky, no villain monologue. The horror here is quiet. It unfolds in stages, like a man peeling back the wallpaper of his own life and realizing it's all covering something rotten.
What about the messages she sent to me?
Sam, I can only account for what occurs on the base.
The beauty of Rockwell's performance is that he plays two Sams, not as good guy versus bad guy, but as two conflicting truths.
Is that what you really think?
I've got a contract. I'm going home.
One version is deteriorating, physically and mentally. He's soft-spoken, passive, and exhausted. The other is sharper, defensive, and more impulsive, angry even.
Sitting there sulking like a little boy.
And they both think that they're real. Both think the other is a mistake.
I'm not a clone. You're the clone.
But here's the punch to the gut. Neither of them are wrong.
Secret room? Yeah, you're the one who's lost your marbles.
This movie plays with identity like it's a house of mirrors, and Rockwell never once slips.
I wasn't supposed to find you.
You can tell which version you're looking at without a single costume change. It's all in his posture, his voice, and his eyes. He's giving you two complete lives with the same face.
Woo! Tough guy.
And by the time they start talking to each other, the film isn't just asking who the real Sam Bell is. It's asking who you are when everything you've ever known might be programmed.
Am I a clone?
Are you hungry?
There's something deeply modern about that question. In an era where we upload curated versions of ourselves every day, where your digital self might outlive your physical one, Moon feels weirdly prophetic. It's not just a clone story, it's about the anxiety of being replaceable.
Dad? There's someone asking about Mom.
Of being one of many, of being forgotten.
I'm trying to reach Tess Bell.
I'm sorry, she passed away some years ago.
That's what makes Moon so haunting, because at its core, it's not about space or science, it's about isolation, about being stripped of connection, of history, of meaning. Imagine finding out every memory you have was just a part of the job.
What about Tess? What about Eve?
They are memory implants, Sam.
That your family doesn't even know you exist.
Is this the Bell residence?
This is the Bell residence.
That you were created only to function. That you expire.
He did you 3 years.
Can't expect you to stick around.
The implication isn't just that the company lied, it's that the company never thought lying mattered.
Why would they do that? What's the motive?
It's a company, right? They have investors, they have shareholders.
That the lie was baked into the product, and Sam Bell is the product. His personality, his memories, his sense of self, it's all part of the packaging.
Hi, Sam. It's me. I miss you too.
What Rockwell does so brilliantly is show us the unraveling of that illusion without ever declaring it out loud.
Sweat like a pig.
He makes you feel the collapse instead of explaining it. What's especially interesting is just how much trust the film places in Rockwell's performance.
Sam, it might help you to talk about it.
There are entire stretches of Moon where there's no exposition, no outside voices filling the blanks. It's just him talking to himself, reacting to himself.
Don't get your f***ing panties in a twist. I'm in the same boat as
Trying to hold on to a narrative that's falling apart by the second.
Think about it. How did I get up here so quickly after your crash?
The pacing slows down deliberately, almost daring the viewer to sit in the discomfort of that unraveling.
Safe trip and goodbye.
And instead of giving us easy answers, it lets us live in that gray area. Because really, the only thing more disturbing than not knowing who you are is realizing that nobody else does either.
What do you think, Tess is back home waiting for you on the sofa in lingerie?
That you could vanish, be replaced, and the machine would keep running. Rockwell gives you all of that devastation without ever pushing it.
I had to give her the job. I wanted to keep her in the country.
She was going back to Ireland.
There's no Oscar bait monologue, no dramatic breakdown, just quiet panic, subtle unraveling.
We might not be the first two to be woken up.
It's in the way one Sam glares at the other. It's in how the dying one starts to envy the fresh version.
I'm Sam Bell. Me!
Even as he helps him. It's in the way they both realize, at different speeds, that this isn't just a temporary setback. It's the entire truth coming undone. There's a claustrophobia feel to the film that goes beyond the setting. The moon base feels sterile, boxed in, almost like a testing facility. And that's intentional. It's not just that Sam is physically trapped, it's that the system never intended for him to think beyond the walls.
The satellite's fine. They don't want us to be able to contact Earth.
The moment he starts to question things, he becomes dangerous. Not to others, but to the lie itself.
They lied to us. They've been lying to us since the beginning. They've been lying to us since forever.
And then there's how eerily calm everything is. Even as Sam uncovers the horrifying truths, the score remains sparse, the lighting pale and diffused. It's a world devoid of urgency. That's the true dystopia here. There's no villain twirling a mustache, just a process being carried out exactly as designed. The horror isn't in the malfunction, it's in the perfection of it. And the scariest part, Gertie, the AI assistant, isn't the villain.
I could reboot myself once you have departed.
Are you okay with that?
I'm here to keep you safe, Sam. I want to help you.
The company is, the system, the design.
How long have I been out?
Not long, Sam.
Gertie actually helps them.
Doesn't that go against your programming or something?
Helping you is what I do.
Because even the machine knows what's happening isn't humane, it's just efficient. There's a scene where one of the Sams finds a hidden room full of bodies.
I found your secret room.
Versions of himself lined up like spare parts. That's when it hits you. This wasn't an accident, it was protocol.
Lay down.
Relax and breathe deeply.
He was never going home. No one was ever meant to. And still, Rockwell never lets the performance tip into melodrama. He keeps it grounded, he keeps it human, which is the cruel irony of the whole thing. He's playing a clone, but he's more human than most actors playing regular people.
You're terrified. You wrote that whole speech for her answering machine, but she didn't need it because she picked up the phone.
By the end of Moon, the only thing that matters is that one of them gets out. Not to fix everything, not to start a revolution, just so someone knows the truth, just so someone remembers him.
You know you had to take a chance. You should try with it. I always wanted to do that.
And even that might not be enough, because what Moon really leaves you with isn't hope or closure, it's that persistent, uncomfortable thought. How many Sams are still out there, waking up thinking they're the first? How many of us would question our reality if everything felt just real enough to not dig deeper? Rockwell doesn't answer that. He doesn't need to. He just puts the question in your head and then walks away. And maybe that's the point. Not every story ends with meaning, but this one starts with the search for it. And that's why it lingers.